Shalom Akim Shalom. Yabashim Shai Baraka Thumb to the household of faith. Before I start though, I want to give all praises to the creator of the heavens and the earth, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash, divines to the elder apostle, the elder bishops of the great millstone. All right, welcome back to another GMS Inspiration of the Almighty. And as you can see, the title, a very controversial topic amongst Israel. But basically, the rape doctrine or the grape doctrine. Let's really talk about it. The rape doctrine or the grape doctrine. Let's really talk about it. All right. And as you know, over here at Great Millstone, we've been labeled as the worst Israelite group because that we teach the law concerning what are you supposed to do if a woman is raped or graped. All right. And the way that we teach it, it's not savory to everybody's ears, but nonetheless, it's the truth. So what I want to do, I'm gonna go over this again, which all of us, starting from Apostle Tahar on down, we've been going over this. We've been explaining these things. We've been going in and out of the different strong definitions, giving you definitions, explaining it to you, telling you that this doctrine is that this law, in the way that it was kept, is something of the ancient or the older times. All right. Now, and we explain it exactly how what it is according to truth. Now you have to in order to deal with this, in order to deal and try to truly gather understanding of what the law is concerning if a woman is raped, you have to put all emotions to the side. All emotions have to be to the side, and you have to reason logically. And I understand, yeah, when that's a very controversial topic, it's very touchy. Because, hey, you may have a daughter, or you have a mother, or you have a sister. Hey, we all got daughters and mothers and sisters, man. But that's why this law is in place to protect them. That's why that law is there, to protect them. All right? And you have to put all emotions to the side. All emotions to the side. You have to just reason. And then you have to take your mind out of the way that America thinks about rape. Which over here in America, of course, when you hear rape, you think about a woman getting beat up, left in the alley with her panties down, you know? So, as soon as I get to the point where I'm able to pull up my tablet, we're going to go through all of this. But there's other scriptures that clearly states to you, especially in the book of Sarak, it clearly states to you how you're supposed to deal with your daughters or women in general. Women are supposed to be watched over. Women are not supposed to be freely gadding abroad, because this can happen to them. They can be raped. It could happen to them. A father is supposed to be in the house and watching his daughter, disciplining her and making sure that she's on point. And there's different scriptures that say that. Give not a woman liberty to gad abroad. Keep a sure watch over thy daughter, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. There's different scriptures that tells you how to guard your daughters and how they supposed to deal. And also, when you read about the different daughters that went out, or group of women that went out in the ancient world, that's exactly how they went out. They went out in groups. They wasn't single out there walking around, you know, amongst men and amongst the city like you find in America. You gotta, that's what I'm saying, just reason. Neither were women scantily dressed. Okay? They were not scantily dressed, and they were not just walking around the city by themselves. When you read about the women, Rebecca, Isaac's wife, Rachel, Jacob's wife, when they was going to the well, they was going with companies. They'll go water the flocks. They had women with them. They had people with them because they were vulnerable out there. Okay? They were vulnerable. So, now that we didn't stop here, let's get all into this. Let's get into this real quick. Quick, fast, we're going to go over this once again in the spirit and power, Yahweh Shemel Shai, to make it make sense for you. Okay? And I'm gonna talk about some grammar. Okay? Some grammar to make sense for you. All right? So, when the famous scripture is found in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. Now, you have to consider this. This is a very touchy and emotional topic. I get it. You know, Jake loved that woman. We love that woman. All right? We have daughters. We have mothers and all of that. We understand that very well. But the cycle of life, how life and situations of life occur, rape happens, bro. So you have to think to yourself, what does the Lord say concerning rape? Now, there's other situations that is of the same caliber. If a man lied with another man, we know they supposed to get put to death. Jake don't get so emotional about that one, right? If a child is disrespectful to their parents, if a child is disrespectful to their parents, and you can't do nothing about it, we know that you're supposed to take that child and the child gets stoned. So there's different high level, like when you hear it and they gotta die, laws. And then rape falls right in there. But this one is a little bit more emotional because it's dealing with a woman, and Jake loved women. But forget being emotional about what you're hearing and try to reason with when this happened, what does the Lord say to do? When this take place, what does the Lord say to do? And over here at Great Millstone, we explain it clear to you. This is what you do if this law take place. Okay? This is what you do. So, let's go to Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter real quick. Let me see. Deuteronomy 22 and 23. It says, if a damsel, which a damsel is a young woman, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband. So if a young woman is engaged to a man, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. So this man came across this woman and they lie with each other. They have sex with each other. Reading the NLT. Suppose a man meets a young woman and a virgin who was entangled to be married, who was engaged to be married, and he has sexual intercourse with her. If this happened within a town, back to the King James Version, then you should bring them both out onto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. And then it says the conclusion is, if this woman was married, this damsel was married, she was engaged to a man, and she deal with another guy outside her engagement. The man die and the woman die. That's what the Lord said you do. Now, it says, it's going to explain why. It says, because. It says, the damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he humbled his neighbor's wife, so you should put away evil from among you. So the reason why the woman has to die is because she didn't cry. She knew she was married to a man, and she didn't cry out, help help me. Somebody please help me. This guy is trying to forcibly take me. She didn't cry out. And the Heavenly Father is indicating that that woman, she consented to it. She consented to it. She wanted it to happen. She consented. So that's her guilty charge. That's the charge against her. That's why she died. And then it said the man has to die is because he humbled his neighbor's wife. Adultery. That's the first one it put. Now, in verse 25, you're going to notice that it uses colons. In grammar, you have a punctuation called colons. Okay? The colons are the two dots. Not semicolon with a dot and a comma, but colons, a dot in grammar. Now, a colon, when you use that in grammar, is you're going to list something off. This list that you're going to list off is going to all be relevant to each other. All be relevant. This list that is going to go through is going to all be talking about the same thing, but it's listing it off. Now, when you jump to 25, it's semicolons all the way to 27. So these are all within the same context, all backing one another up, complementing each other. So now we have verse 25 here. All right. It says, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, a man finds a woman that's engaged, a young woman that's engaged in the field, and the man force her and lie with her. Force, when you look up the word force, it's the Hebrew word kazak, which means strength. And when you look in the definitions, it says, it tells you when you look through the definitions and you tie the right definition for the context of the verse, is one that uses his strength against a person. In the case of a woman being raped, we know that a man uses his strength against her. Okay? Sorry, I'm going to go to the blue letter real fast. Force. Exactly. Kazak. Okay? And it says when you go down to D1, to strengthen oneself, to put forth strength, to use one's strength. So he forced her. In other words, he graped her or he raped her in the NLT. But if a man meets the engaged woman out in the country and he rapes her, clearly the word rape is there in the NLT. Now, jumping back to the King James, it says, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. So, let me finish on further. It says, there is no sin worthy of death, for as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field and betrothed, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Now, in them verses, from verse, like I was explaining to you, in punctuation, you have a thing called a colon. From verse 25 to 27, you see nothing but colons being used, meaning this is a list. This whole little portion, it all goes together. And I'm gonna explain the whole. I'm gonna go back over and I'm gonna explain it line by line. Okay? So let's jump back up. I'm gonna explain this line by line. It's not really hard to understand if you just reason. And this is if a situation of rape happened. This is what it is. So it said, if a man find an engaged or a betrothed damsel in the field and a man force her, he uses his strength against her to rape her and lie with her. Then the man only that lie with her shall die. he should die. But it explains later on in the list. The reason why he has to die is because the woman cried out. Meaning that she told him, look, I belong to somebody, and he still did it. That's his death. That's the reason why he has to die. It says, but unto the damsel thou should do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. Why is it that she's cleared on this one? It's because later on in the verse, it told you she cried out. That's the reason why she's free from death. She cried out and there was nobody there to save her. So really, she wasn't being guilty. She didn't want to do it. She wasn't consenting to it. So that's why this nigga dies for doing what he did. She gets to live. He dies because she cried out, and then he didn't listen. He still was just overly, he had a demon on him to do adultery. She cried out, and there was nobody there to save her. She's free from death. She's innocent, right? It says, for it didn't look. It says, but unto the damsel thou should do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. Semicolon. Now this next part, the latter part of 26, this is what you will call a comparison or a simile. In figures of speech, you have a thing called similes. What is a simile? That's when you compare two things to each other. And when you compare two things to each other, you use like or as. Okay? So there's going to be a comparison in this next little portion. So this man took this one. This is what the comparison is. This man took this woman. She cried out. That nigga did not care. He still did it. This nigga's sin is likened or is as, like it says, for as when a man riseth up against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. So since he didn't listen to this woman and he took this woman, it's similar, it's compared to as if a man kill another man. He took a woman that was belonged to somebody else. It's like this nigga killed somebody. And that's the reason why it says for as when, meaning it's a comparison there. That's why grammar, you got to know the grammar. You got to know grammar. It makes it more clear when you read periods and things like that. A little bit of the English. So this nigga took this woman. He knew that she was crying to him, telling this nigga she had a man, and he did it anyway. This nigga's sin is likened on to if a man slay another man. That's what that means there. That's the comparison. And the simile is in there. The word as is there. And then it says, for he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Okay? So, check this out. We're going to go on further, but let's go back up. Let's go to the word force. Right? We know the Hebrew word is kazak. Strong's H2388. That's the Hebrew word. Now, we know when you go down in the blue letter and you go down to the when you go down to every verse that uses that Strong's kazak is found in the list of the different verses that uses that very same Hebrew word, right? That very same Hebrew word, right? Now, when you jump to, let's go to when Amnon took his sister Tamar. Okay, let's see if it uses that same Hebrew word for force in those other ones as well. In that scripture with Tamar. Let me see. 2 Samuel 13 and 11. This is dealing with Amnon and Tamar, and we know that he forced his sister. He raped her. It's 2 Samuel 13 and 11. It says, and when she brought them in unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. Take hold is Strong's H2388, same Hebrew word for Kazakh. Let's jump down to the 14th verse. It says, howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger, then she forced her and lay with her. Being stronger, the same Hebrew word is being used there. H2388. So in the case of that, he took Tamar. He forced her, right? So these things happen, man. Now, let's jump back to Deuteronomy 22 again. And we established that scenario. Now, verse 28. Now it's going to give you a whole nother scenario. It gave you the first scenario, the second scenario, and then there's a third scenario from verse 28. It says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, she is not taken. She's a virgin. She is, let me go to the word right there. Bathwala. Okay? A young woman, right? That's married. She's of the age to be married. Okay? So you find this woman, she's of the age to be married. If a man find a damsel that is if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, she's not engaged to no man. She's not engaged to no man. She doesn't belong to no man. Right? And lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. When you look up the word lay hold, it's the Strong's 8610. The Hebrew word is thapash. Thapash. And it says to catch, to lay hold, to take hold of, to seize, to lay hold, seize, arrest, catch and take and captured, right? This is where Jake he tried to get a little funny. The word tapash means to seize something, to take it. Jake they want to stop right there and say, nah, it mean he just laid with her. It ain't talking about rape no more. What are you talking about, bro? This whole little portion of the bottom part of Deuteronomy 28 is all scenarios based around rape. Now, this is the thing. The word right there is tapash, and it means to seize, lay hold, to take, to capture, right? Let's look up the word rape, which the apostles didn't already been through this, man. We got to go through this because this is a very sensitive topic, but Jake emotionally could use this, and you see how they throwing this in the dirt when over here at Great Millstone, if this, how we explain it, if this was put into force, man, the world would be a better, man. You won't have women out here that's just scantily walking around and doing whatever they want. You won't have women out here just getting pregnant by crazy dudes. You will have fathers that will be protecting their daughters. You will have Jake out there understanding that I can't just lay with any fucking woman. It would be a righteous balance in the earth. But these were how we explain Deuteronomy 28 is not being established. And now what do you have in the earth? You have all these holes. You have these crazy ass people out here. But I'm sorry. Remember we looked up the posh, and it means to seize, to take, to capture. When you look up the word rape, that's what that word means, man. Right here in the etymology. It says to seize, same word, to take and carry off by force, to seize, to abduct, to force. It's still talking about rape here. So if this man if this man finds a young woman in the field and she's of a marriageable age and he lied with her, he lay hold on her, he raped her, it's still talking about rape there. And we just defined it, right? It says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, and which is not betrothed, and he lay hold on her, he rape her, he seizes her, he grabs her, and lay with her, and they be found, then that man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel fathers 50 shekels of silver, and she should be his wife. That is the penalty. That's the penalty. He has to pay the father for what he did. And then it says, and she should be his wife, because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. That is his woman now from this point forth. He took that woman, she was not betrothed to nobody, and he forced her, whether she wanted it or not. He raped her. The Heavenly Father said, look, this is what you do with this case. Pay the father money. The father don't have to like it. The father could be upset. He could be hot. He could be wanting to put the dude down. He could be wanting to kill the dude who did that to his daughter. He could be that angry. Yet the Lord said the guy's penalty. This is what Yahweh said, man. The guy's penalty is that he has to pay the father. This is not hard to understand at all. And yeah, you could be, like I said, the dude could be hot, man. But see, that's why it's scriptures in the Bible. That's why it's scriptures that tell us men, how to deal when you come down to the earth. You're supposed to deal a certain way. You're not supposed to be letting your daughter do whatever the freak she want, like you over here in America, man. You're not supposed to be doing that. Sarak 7, or is it 11? No. That's is it a shore watch? Here we go. Sarak 42 and 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughingstock to thy enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. You're supposed to watch over your daughter, man. And that's what we did. We watched over our daughter. We made sure we knew where our daughters was at, man. And then, like we said, when they would go out into the world to do anything, go water the flocks, they moved in groups. They wasn't out there like American society. You see this woman walking down the street by herself. And they were covered up. Unlike this society, they got nothing on. You see? And another point is that in the ancient world, it ain't like how we live in our neighborhoods. You don't know your neighbor next to you. You don't know, you've been living here for 10 plus years or something. You still don't know the dude 3 houses down from you. You don't know them. In the ancient world, we knew who was around us, man. We knew, oh, that's just say, for instance, his name is Kazak. That's Kazak, the father of his young Kazak Ba. He got Kazak Ga. And he has a daughter. Her name is Dinah. Everybody knew each other, so we wasn't just doing that. And that's why you got to take your mind out of how this society thinks. And then reason. This is the laws if rape take place. This is the laws. And it makes perfect sense. And if you apply it to society, you will not have these problems of women having these cases with dealing with somebody took them. Plain and clear, man. Now it says, then the man that lied with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she should be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He should not put her away all the days of his life. All right? And the Hebrew word for humble is ainah. And that same word, humbled, right? Apostle Torah went over this years ago. The same word humble, ainah, let's see if it's used when Tamar and Amnon forced her. Let's see if the word humble is somewhere amongst that. When Amnon forced Tamar, it uses the word force, the English word force. In Deuteronomy 22, it says he humbled her. So in Deuteronomy 22, it has humbled. In Samuel's, it has forced. But it's when you look behind those English words, it's the same Hebrew word. Strong's H6031, ainah. And it said, this is 2 Samuel 13 and 22. It said, and Absalom spake unto his brother Amnon, neither good nor bad. For Absalom hated Amnon, because he forced his sister Tamar. From Deuteronomy 22, 28 to 30, it's still talking about rape. It ain't talking about how these guys say, no, they ain't talking about rape no more. No, fool. This whole little portion is the bottom part of Deuteronomy 22 is all talking about different scenarios of rape, bro. And this is what the Lord Yahweh has said concerning this is what you do. Plain and clear. Y'all, but Great Millstone, yeah, we're gonna continue to be looked bad and for the record, we ain't over here raping nobody. We ain't raping nobody. All right? And you could say all you fucking want, man. You're gonna have to pay for them damn words. But motherfucker, we explained to you that what the scripture mean, man. Broke it down, going in and out words and everything. Etymologies and everything. So you don't have to fucking like it, man. Whatever. Be emotional and all of that. Here it is on this side of the world. We in 2024 on this side of the world, the Western Hemisphere. You have this weird connotation about rape, but then you take your butt over there to across the Atlantic Ocean. You start getting into Africa and the Arabic country. These laws are still over there happening, and they're dealing with it how the scriptures say. It's amazing. But whatever. It says, the last verse, it says, yeah, that's it right there. That's what it is. He has to keep that woman. He ain't gonna just rape her, beat her, sock her eye up, leave her in the alley, or just, wherever he leave her. No, he has to take care of that woman. Come on, man. Man, that's pretty much it right there, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, I pray that that was just like clear for you, man. It's not that hard at all. It's not that hard at all, but you can make it hard if you emotional and stop reasoning. All right? If you stop reasoning and you get to the point where you just get, oh, he took that woman. Stop, get away from that and listen to how you supposed to deal. And then be like, damn, this is true. If this was applied the way that the scriptures say, niggas would not be out here raping nobody. They won't, it would be reduced. It'd be reduced. Nigga would think twice before he do that. Like, damn, I don't want to be stuck with her though. He just horny and shit. He's just raping. I'm gonna be stuck with her though. Or if she got a dude, I'm gonna get put to death. Come on, yo. Hey, y'all Shemel Shah Barakatham, you brothers and sisters, man. I hope that was edifying. Shalom. I'll praise y'all Shemel Shah. Shalom. I'll praise y'all.